Hello, people. It's me, Guy Meyer, California Times, and it is Friday, December 12th, and it's day 2 of me testing with COVID. So, oh joy and thrills, and I had it last year, and it wasn't too serious. I'm not too deeply worried, but even in its modified form that we've got now, it's no longer the first round. It is a very peculiar illness, and strange is the word that came to mind. Anyways, that it was Wednesday night, and I tried to do this sort of yogi breathing kind of thing, because I was having a rough time. I knew something was going on, and it seemed to, I don't know if it worked or not. I don't think it was a strange thing. I felt like I'd been doing it all night long and getting nowhere and feeling all kinds of like bad, like this, I feel like horrible, but yet I had sort of a tranquility going. Then I got up to take a pee at I figured it must be about 5 in the morning, but it was only like 1:42 a.m. But I felt kind of sort of at peace with that. Maybe that little stuff helps, you know. And then I proceeded to go into phase 2 of the evening, or maybe that was phase 3 already. Took a hot bath, hoping to get back to sleep. It didn't work, and my brain went into a different zone where instead of a feeling of strange equanimity about the whole weird thing, I felt like I was involved in a really scary life and death battle. Not for myself, but like on a cellular basis, like there was a cell somewhere just grappling with something. And I don't know, I think it was a dream, I guess. But it kind of floated into, was it dream or was I really, because sometimes I wasn't even really asleep. I don't even know. Anyway, it's mysterious, and I felt like bleep, like when I woke up in the morning on Thursday and I tested and I was positive. And last night, I tried to take a different approach. Actually, what I did was I went through my medicine chest and found some oxycodone left over from 4 or 5 years ago from some whatever medical thing that I can't remember about. And so that's what seemed to help me through last night. And I don't know where I'm going with this. If I share this, will I have the courage to share like a month from now that I'm still stuck in whatever? I don't know. I guess the thing about the strangeness is that the concept, the belief that this little virus, it's mutated, and thankfully seems to have mutated to a less horrible one, but it's still very strange, was created by human beings specifically to make something bad happen, but supposedly for a good reason. But, you know, you heard about that? Something called gain of function? Like our own people. When I say our own, I mean Americans. So it wasn't really, even though it was from the Wuhan lab, it was the Americans there. Something called the Eco Alliance. Did you hear about that? You know, I guess I don't want to speak too much more beyond my knowledge base, which is not that much, but really enough to get me fascinated by it all. But a lie is still a lie, as the judge says that. Valuations as elucidated ad nauseum in this trial can be based on different criteria analyzed in different ways. But a lie is still a lie. That's the judge. Well, all right. Letitia James, Democrat, sued Trump Attorney General. She wants the judge to impose $370 million in penalties and forbid him from doing business in New York. The concept, this was a good book for me to read about Trump back in 2016, written by two writers from the Washington Post. And it kind of outlined the basis of his company and about how, you know, he'd be marketing his name. People would want to, I don't get it, why, you know, having his name on something is going to make it a higher value. I mean, I just kind of laughed and scoffed at it. But it seems like if you want to put a price tag or a value, if your merchandise is yourself and you want to inflate your value, I just don't think it's, anyways, it seems like more of the get Trump thing. All the good people do very brave things to be one of the great people, to bring Trump down. Very brave things, but I don't think particularly intelligent things. Pentagon report. U.S. military aid sent to Ukraine was not properly tracked. That's an interesting story from the New York Times. More than $1 billion worth of shoulder-fired missiles, kamikaze drones, night vision goggles, blah, 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 sent to Ukraine have not been properly tracked, raising concerns they could be stolen or smuggled at a time. It found that the U.S. defense officials and diplomats in Washington and Europe had failed to quickly or fully account for many of the nearly 40,000 weapons that by law should have been closely monitored because of their battlefield impact. There's not a record of the inventories being done, says the Pentagon's Inspector General. Doesn't mean that they're not there or they're not being used. It's just no record, like nobody signed off. That's what strikes me. As somebody who's worked in a receiving department in a market, when the shipment arrives, you would think the pallets or whatever, somebody would sign their name to it. Anyhow, that's enough of this for today. Cheers, everyone.
Well, it's Saturday, January 13th, day 3 of my COVID, and I am perhaps not too, I'm not very showing great signs of wisdom, but boy, that tree is beautiful. It is a beautiful tree. You're just looking at the bottom of the tree. You're not even looking at the top of the tree. This tree goes on forever. It's a magic tree. Anyway, I guess I slept all right last night with the help of modern science. And I'm looking for a citrus tree in the neighborhood because I want some oranges. And I didn't really think it was going to be raining, but it's raining very lightly. I got my good raincoat on. I've got layers. I don't think I have a fever. I'm just taking certain liberties, chances with the universe on every level, every day, including with the COVID thing. Now last night, I was starting to feel it was the edge of nighttime, and that sometimes gets a little weirder. Evening, hello. I was starting to feel, I don't know, a little worse. So, anyways, I took a Xanax about 9 o'clock. Tried reading, couldn't read, and I finally fell asleep. The Xanax, and woke up again around 2:30 or 2:40. take a pee, and then I took an oxycodone, which, as I explained in my previous thing, I had in the medicine counter, and that was my last Xanax, and that was from like 5 or 7 years ago, and I various times told myself never to do Xanax again, but it's okay. And it worked apparently. I got to 2:30 and then had the oxy, and then went back to sleep and pushed it or soaked it up, or I slept till about 11:23 when I looked at the clock. Not perfect sleep, but for me, boy, it was good. So now I'm risking life and limb. This could be really something I'm going to really regret. But I'm going down to the citrus tree, which is just this next block here. And I'm going to get somebody's orange tree that is offering. Look at this, I love this picket fence yard. Coat of paint, but hope they never take it away. It's real wooden picket fence. Up ahead I can see my citrus, and I'm grateful. I'm going to grab two. The tree is so generous. You can see there's maybe you can see it's already a few lying on the ground, and it's over the sidewalk, so it feels like it's somebody's offering them to passers-by. And I'm going to take 3 or 4 this time. Last time I just took 2. Oh yeah. Ooh, well, the whole little branch. Maybe they're not right. That's why they're not coming off so easy. But maybe that's why they're so tart. And maybe I like them anyways. So now I've done that. I've taken that. Look at that. And I could have just called my friends. Say, hey, pick up some oranges for me. No, I have to go for a walk. It's alright. Get back home, turn the heater on, and make some music. Okay, there you have it. Day 3 of COVID. Doing good. Well, I should say that without. I'm recovering from COVID, actually. When I say I'm doing good comparatively.
Is it more than just a cold these days?
It's pretty much that. I mean, it's, yeah. The first day was kind of a slap in the face, but then it's not too much of anything. Yeah. Anyways, I heard news that they're not going to be, it's definitely not going to be coming down this summer. The bridge? Wow. All I can say is wow. The whole thing is just such a wow. I think there's a chance for, it feels like a real potential that we can finally like maybe straighten this stuff up a bit. Yeah. Yeah. Well, anyways, Happy New Year. Glad to see you're mayor, and that's a wonderful.
Thanks.
All right, Eileen.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, so day 4 of my COVID. Feeling better, though. My whole adventure with getting into Oxy is probably, well, anyways, who knows? But it's over. I'm not going to go back to that tonight.
Well, hello, people. Cheers. Dinner time for me on Monday, January 15, Martin Luther King's birthday. And just taking a second here to report. Let me see. This would be, I'm losing track here. Started documenting this little COVID stretch. Pretty light, the year 2024. Not much to worry about. For me, I don't mean to, test the universe beyond its ability to come back and cuff me side the head, in terms of when I say I got nothing to worry about. Maybe that's the time I better get a tight grip on my reality or anything. All right, on Thursday morning, I tested positive for COVID. This is now Monday evening, dinner time. Can you see this fabulous feast? This is the kind of thing that conquers COVID. Carrots, rice, and chicken. Just a touch of wine. I'm really bringing it down here. Happy New Year, happy survival. Things are good, thank you. As well for you. Martin Luther King, fantastic, great American, definitely gets my vote. Martin, whenever you want to run for anything. Matter of fact, you get my vote for being on the $50 bill. I would replace Ulysses S. Grant like yesterday, tomorrow, with Martin Luther King. I think that'd be a fine, great contribution to America's progress. And what would he be thinking right now with the Israeli war, and if he could be with us at this time and age, where in 1963 the March on Washington, and in 1967 we came out against the Vietnam War. What would he think about going on in Israel and Gaza and Ukraine? Just mind-blowing that we as a people haven't risen up somehow and just stopped this never-ending level of lies and manipulation that have anyhow. The good news is, like, for our Creek platform, that's going to be held back. There's so much good news in the world that I get blinded, and I hope I do focus a lot on the darkness, and that's to my own, not to my own advantage, but to focus on the positive. That's an art I haven't really achieved yet, and I'm working on it. I'm trying, I'm really trying, humans. And sometimes I feel like, you got to look at this darkness in order to be able to even defend the light. But whatever the light needs defending, or as I was telling friends, I can't make this a better day than it is today. So we're going to have lots of rippling, beautiful days in the year 2024, and wish you all well, and that's about all I got to say. If you want to fight COVID-19 or whatever it is, carrots, rice, chicken, a little broth, touch of wine. I don't know. I really don't. I think I think all this vaccination stuff is a little bit overrated. It's my own take on things. Cheers.
All right, good morning, world. Cup of coffee. Visit the creek. This is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. That is day 6 of COVID, and that's like, I don't even have COVID anymore, but you know, just the start of this little dock. And I'm not going to prove that I'm not going to have it until tomorrow morning. My, that creek looks beautiful, doesn't it? Water looks amazing. Looks particularly, it looks every day looks particularly delightful. And it's winter trees here in San Anselmo, California. It's January 16. Not quite a sign of a bud, but maybe if I was looking real closely. Well, let's go visit the park for a second. The good news is that they're not going to tear it down this coming summer, which, and I've got to get the newspaper out and sit down and read it with you, try to go through it. We're coming through the edges of Creek Park, San Anselmo, California. A little sliver of a corner of an intersection that once upon a time, more than 50 years ago, was just concrete, debris, parking lot out of the way. Across the street is a movie theater, Tamalpais Movie Theater. I don't know if you can see that, which was a beautiful movie theater. Still in operation in '75 when I moved out here. There's the movie theater. And a big deal for the town. And this is where people would park their cars for the movie theater at night when they come to the movies in San Anselmo. But it was, I didn't get to see it. I've never really even seen pictures. But the story was just sort of obsolete. It was just a concrete mess. And then Dan Goltz, who had his office across the way, who I met when I came out in '75, Dan had become the guy to design this beautiful park. And so they dug up the concrete and hauled in soil, and they planted redwood trees. If you're not familiar with the story, they planted these redwood trees. They planted this Burma trees that used to be much thicker, but still there. Initially, in the center, they have an oak tree here. It was a willow tree, a weeping willow. It was very beautiful. It was in the middle. I'm not sure why it had to come down, but it did for some reason. And here we have this stand of trees, which the redwoods are going to stay, according to the public works director. Anyhow, so they're planning to put this concrete amphitheater seating here. There's the stage where they... Anyways, all of this is up in the air. All of this is up in the air now in a very positive manner. They're not going to tear the platform down this year because of the complications of FEMA. Under this concrete platform flows the river at flood stage, and what doesn't squeeze through underneath goes around and up on top. You can see the top of the banks over there by the sidewalk to the left, and to the right the banks. This platform bridge channel that is created is quite a bit lower than the bank, so therefore it forces the water out. But it would force the water out not at the back entrance, but at the front entrance.
What would the water do? It would flow around, the flow would go down the street from the curbs and or then flow back in again. But it would not in itself destroy the downtown. You would need the volume of the water collectively to rise. You got that guy? I think I do. All right. And these steps lead up to the main parking, or the main path, and they stop abruptly here. But wouldn't it be nice if these steps evenly and safely, calmly took you down to the edge of the creek, and a nice bench was provided down there. You could sit by the creek. Perhaps you can see, I hope you can see, two other stairs that lead down to the creek, and there's somebody sitting there pondering or doing what they do in perfect use of the park. Thanks together very beautifully, fantastically. Anyways, people, good morning. It's Wednesday morning, and that 7-day, 1 week test thing has arrived. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 drops. 6 drops in the little thing, a jig there. Swab. 3. Oh, that was nasty. All right, this goes underneath. And 15 minutes from now. Okay, time has come. The alarms are ringing. Wow. Holy cow. I'm clear. I can't believe it, actually. I really thought I had not shaken it. Guy, don't you have more of a speech than that's good news? You want to say something important? Earth-shaking? Well, I actually feel like bleep. And let's step outside here. It's a beautiful day. It's just a beautiful day. Hey, world. Clean off the lens. Much better. Clean off the lens, people. All right, it's my lens. Okay. All right, I'm smiling, people. It's okay. Ciao.